Days time moves faster. Other days time moves slower. And some days you walk into the office and it's 53 degrees because somebody on your team or somebody messed with the thermostat. So some days you walk in, it's 53 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning when you get into the office. That happens. It's a little warmer now because I've been here for like 40 minutes, so I've been able to turn it up. So it's a little bit warmer now, but it was 53 when I first walked into this joint, which is just crazy. But some days time moves faster than other days. You know what I'm saying? And so like everything on point this morning, boom, time on point, what time I woke up, everything on point. Great concepts for the show this week, great ideas. The writing was great, sending out encouraging messages. So great concepts, everything on time. And yet, for some reason, today's production, like, as I was building, the time was just like bam, 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 bam. So I have the whole show laid out, written out the way that I want, but the production side today is not going to be where I want it to be. It's just not. I'm just letting you know right now. Production-wise, it is not going to be where I want it to be. But that's all right. If you're listening on podcast, it won't matter. If you're just listening audibly, it won't matter a bit. You won't even notice. But if you're watching the show, if you're a show watcher, like me, I'm a show watcher. If you're a show watcher, then my bad on production today. All right, there it is. Let's go. It's Monday. Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday. You're going to have to tag some folks. You're going to have to type in some names. You're going to have to hit some share buttons. It's not sending out the notifications to let people know we're live, all that good stuff. So I need your help this morning. Today is Monday, February 23rd. That's right. Today is Monday, February 23rd, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, February 23rd, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where it is super cold outside. It snowed a little bit yesterday. It is super cold this morning. It got super cold yesterday. And I was talking to my wife. I was like, yo, bro, what? Like, why do we live here? For real. Like, why? Why do we choose to live where it's so cold? Like, we have options. We do. We have options. This is a choice. Us dealing with this level of cold is simply a choice. Like, we could move to Florida. We could move the family. We could move down to Florida. My wife homeschools the kids, so there's no reason why we can't move. Like, it's not like we got to stay here because of the schools. We can move to Florida. My company can operate from anywhere. Pretty much I'm traveling, around and so on and so forth. So my company can operate from anywhere. It ain't got to operate from Kentucky. And she's like, well, our family. I'm like, yeah, they're all retired, dude. Her dad, retired. Her mom, retired. My mom, retired. What's up, Alex Flores? See, Alex just moved to Florida. Alex is exactly what I'm talking about. He made a choice. He moved to Florida. We could move to Florida, bro. My parents, retired, move them down to Florida. Her parents, retired, move them down to Florida. My kids, move them all down to Florida. We ain't got to put up with all this cold. This is a choice. What I realized yesterday. So I had that conversation with my wife because it's cold, man. It is cold up here right now. Down there in Florida, it's beautiful. But listen, that's a little side note. Maybe we'll move the family one day. Maybe we won't. This week on this series, we're going to do something a little bit different. See, no property taxes. See, Alex is selling it. This week on this show, we're going to do something a little bit different. There have been some major advancements in the world of AI. AI has been accelerating at a rapid pace. Let me just show you a quick little clip of a couple things happening.
China just rolled out a full-size humanoid robot called Tiangong 3.0 that can feel, touch, and control its entire body dynamically. Geek Plus unveiled a warehouse humanoid named Geno 1 that's already built to replace human labor in logistics at scale. Alibaba released a physical AI model called RinBrain that's breaking robotics records and outperforming models from Google and NVIDIA. Scientists created a sensor smaller than a grain of rice that gives robots 180-degree vision and a form of smell. And in Russia, a startup is turning pigeons into brain-controlled surveillance AI drones using neural implants and GPS. All right, let's start with Tiangong 3.0.
Okay, so that's just a couple little tiny things that are happening, right? That is just a couple little tiny things that are happening in the world of AI. Now, on top of that, like that's the robot side, which we're keeping an eye on that. But on top of that, there are new versions of Claude, ChatGPT, some of these tools that you've used or heard of before. The newer versions are like insane, the levels they're going to. There's been breakthroughs like this thing called OpenClaw. If you haven't checked out OpenClaw yet, it's definitely got a tech side to it. There's a developer side to it. There's a learning curve for sure over on OpenClaw, but there's some interesting things that are happening in the world of AI. All of that to say, it's all going to like really to the next level. And if I were to bring it down to its simplest form where you could see it, for those of you that are watching the show, I just put a picture on the screen. This is a picture of two little girls. One is age 7 and one is age 5, standing on the bank of a pond where the moon is halfway out of the pond. It's on its way up. The one girl is exhilarated and she has got a big smile on her face. The other girl is brave and confident and has 800% on her shirt. Now, the reason I show you this image is we use ChatGPT on Sundays. ChatGPT will help us with bedtime. So I'll go in, I'll punch in the little girls' names, whichever kids I have with me that night, and ChatGPT will help me put together bedtime stories. We've been doing this for a while. And then at the end of the bedtime story, a lot of times the kids will say, "Hey, Dad, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture from the story?" And so I'll say, "Sure," and I'll ask ChatGPT, "Hey, make a little picture from the story." So last night we did that. It was me, Oakland, and Caroline, and it gave us a story about the moon and how the moon felt as though it couldn't shine bright enough, and so it had hidden itself in the pond behind their house. And the girls, by encouraging the moon and believing in the moon, were able to get it to rise up out of the pond. And so we had it do a picture. Now, here's what's crazy about this picture. So when we used to do pictures, it'd just be a random 5-year-old girl, random 7-year-old, whatever. It'd just be kind of random, right? It wasn't like dialed. This picture, dialed. Oakland is wearing an 800% t-shirt. I didn't tell it to do that. Caroline is wearing a pink skirt, and she is wearing Elsa's from Frozen. She's wearing Elsa's boots. I didn't tell it to do that. Caroline wears Elsa's boots all of the time. The pajama pants that you see in this picture are the exact pajama pants that Oakland likes to wear. The shirt that Caroline has on is very similar to shirts that she wears often. Like this artist rendering that it did right here without me prompting, put them in outfits that it has to have seen in different ways, through different pictures, do different things that we've done in ChatGPT, but it's never done this before. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. My wife looked at it. My wife was like, this is scary. I don't like it. That's where my wife is. My wife is like, this is scary. I don't like it. I'm over here like, honey, like this is just starting to get really, really fun. Next level. So all of that to say, this week's theme is, I did that there. This week's theme is 2 arms, 2 legs. That's the theme this week. And this is a series where we're going to break down how we are all essentially the same, right? 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 heart, 1 brain. We eat, we use the restroom, we are born, and then we die, right? Essentially, all of us, all of humanity, we're essentially the same. We're all children of God. And yet, there are an infinite array of lives, lifestyles, and levels of success, right? It's infinite. All the different lives, like choosing to live in Kentucky versus choosing to live in Florida, which would make way more sense, right? We're all essentially the same, and yet there's an infinite array of all of these different things, right? All of those different things come from the very basic and equal starting point. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 brain, 1 heart. We all start from the same place. And so with the advancements in AI, and this is a very interesting kind of anomaly that we can all start from the same place, and yet you can get an infinite number of outcomes. I thought this week, we need to pull these 2 together. So this week's series is going to be written by, directed by, produced with my assistance by AI. Each day, I'm going to use a different platform, ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, whatever. Each day, I'm going to use a different platform. And each day, I am going to bring a unique perspective of what makes us, but not from a human perspective, but from the perspective of AI. That's what we're doing this week. It's going to be wild. I'm looking forward to it. Before we go too far, though, you know what we got to do on this show? You know we got to do some dancing. Let's go. Let's go. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. So I need you to get that body in motion this morning. For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button. Because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, and I will say what's up back. Mr. Mike Larkin, great to see you this morning. Thank you for being here. Patricia Prudenberg, thanks for being here this morning. Great to see you. Greg Becker, we are all the same, but we decide what level we'll arrive at through our actions and applications. Greg, that might be the case. I'm interested to see what AI says. I am very, very interested. Pastor Jeff is in the building this morning. How you doing, Pastor Jeff? Thank you for being here. Young Johnson is in the building. Good morning. My boy Kevin Stroh-Snyder. What's up, K-Stro? Castro's in the building this morning. Great to see you, Mr. Kevin Strohsteiner. Thanks for being here. Trisha Rue. Good morning to Trisha Rue. All of you over there on Breakfast with Champions, thank you for being here. Hope you guys, those of you that went to Creative Con, I hope you had an amazing, amazing event over the weekend. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Maria Lind, good morning. Thank you for being here. Tanya Robinson, good morning. Marla Michelle, good morning. Thanks for being here. Danielle Baldwin is in the building. We've got Dwayne Moser. What's up, Dwayne Moser? Thank you for being here. Spencer Nicholson is in the building. Mike Rendline. What's up, Mike Rendline? Thanks for being here. Jeremy Nolling. What's up, Jeremy Nolling? How you doing, sir? Great to see you. Luis Grafton Nonis is in the building. Tony Schmidt. What's up, Tony Schmidt? Scott Simons is in the building. What's up, Scott? Great to see you. Jamal McCoy, my guy. Jamal McCoy in the building. Thank you for being here, Jamal. So great to see you. Valerie Stone says, I am present here and in attendance. Michael Barrett is like, yo, I'm in the building. What up? Great to see all of you. Thank you so much. And for those of you that are watching on replay, make sure you drop a comment so that I know you stopped by. There's my friend Liza. Hi, Liza. Liza just said good morning. Robin Wilshans said good morning. Tony Thorstad said good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, River Scott? Great to see you. Listen, I love you guys all so much. Thank you so much for joining me here on hashtag Rise and Grind. It's going to be a really fun week. I think that we are going to unlock some really interesting, very interesting things when it comes to humanity by looking at it from a third, like an outside perspective. We're gonna analyze humanity. We're gonna have a non-human analyze humanity. I'm excited. I think it's going to be freaking amazing. Hey, real quick note. If you lead people or you are a leader yourself. What's up, Malika? How you doing, Nathaniel Banks? If you lead people or you are a leader yourself, we have a free 2-day workshop. So I decided this year that our workshops, like we usually sell workshops, we sell them for $1,000, $1,500. I just decided at the beginning of this year, we're going to go like totally lean in on just serving at the highest level. And so we have a free workshop. What's up, Frank Knox? How you doing, Tosh Queen? We have a free workshop for leaders. This is anybody in a leadership position. If you're in auto, right, this would be sales managers, finance managers, that type of thing. If you're not in auto, anybody in a leadership management type role, we're doing a 2-day workshop, March 17th and 18th. I believe that is. Let me confirm those dates. You can go to the, if you go to our website, 800%.life, under the events tab, you'll see it there. But it is, I believe it's March 17th and 18th. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, 2-day workshop right here in Lexington, Kentucky, completely free. All you got to do is go to 800%.life. That's 800%.life. Register yourself, or if you want to send some leaders from your organization, right? Maybe you own a business and you have people that are leaders in your organization. You want to send them out. I'm going to be pouring into them. Sam Cox will be pouring into them. Evan Walters will be pouring into them. My whole team will be talking about some different AI things, how we lead during an AI era, as we have a lot of shifts in the world of AI, so on and so forth. So if any of you want to attend, you're in a leadership role, Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, March 17th, 18th, I believe are the dates. Just go to 800%.life and register. All right, let's dive into the series this week. This is going to be amazing. All right, let's just go over here real quick and right here, ChatGPT. Obviously, we've got our chat. Boom, boom, boom. And morning show planning. This is it. This is going to be episode 1 and written by AI. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so here's what AI says when I talk to it about this idea that you and I are all for the most part the same. It comes across and it says some people build empires and some people build movements. How you doing, Scott Flansburgh, the human calculator? He built a movement, right? Some people build empires, some people build movements, some build generational wealth. Some build excuses. Interestingly enough, all humans have the same hardware, and yet they have different outcomes. 2 arms, 2 legs. So this week, each day, we're going to get a different AI lens. We're going to look at the different pillars of life. And today, we're starting with belief. Because belief builds worlds. Let me tell you about a man born without arms and without legs. His name is Nick Vujicic, and he was born in Australia. No limbs, just imagine that. No arms, no legs, just a torso and a small foot-like appendage. He had the same heart, the same brain, and as a kid, he was bullied relentlessly. At 10 years old, this kid tried to drown himself. Let that sink in. 10 years old. Tried to drown himself. Now you see, that's not weakness. That's a human being crushed under a belief system that says you are less. But here's where it starts to shift. At some point, Nick decided to reframe this. At some point, Nick decided to reframe it, and he realized something radical. He realized that if he was still breathing, maybe, just maybe, he still had a purpose. At 17 years old, Nick gave his first speech. He wasn't polished, he wasn't famous, but ultimately he was real, he was authentic, he was raw. And people cried. Because when a man with no arms and no legs stands in front of you and says you are capable, you listen differently. Today, Nick Vujicic has spoken to millions of people. He's married. He has children. He's built a global platform of hope. And what's fascinating is he had less physical advantage than almost every single one of us on this show today. And yet he's made an impact beyond imagination. Why? Why is that? Well, we believe that it's belief, not biology, that determines your outcomes. It's belief. So let me ask you a question. What if your greatest insecurity is actually your greatest leverage? What if the thing that you hide is the thing that would free someone else? Same hardware, different belief system. Now let's go. Afraid of failure? Are you afraid of posting online? Maybe you're afraid to raise your prices in your business. Maybe you're afraid to have the hard conversations that you know you need to have. You're afraid of those things, and yet here's a 17-year-old girl who stared down death for education. Same hardware, different courage. So listen, you, me, right here. We all start with roughly the same design. Roughly. We all start with roughly the same design. We are not limited by limbs. We are not limited by belief ceilings. So it's time that we ask ourselves, right? What have you decided in your life is impossible? What have you decided in your life is impossible for you? It is a decision. It is a choice. Just like I choose to be here in this cold in Kentucky. This is a choice. On the outside, it might seem like this is, I choose to deal with this cold. It is a choice. It's not like, oh, well, this is where I live and it just happens to be cold today. No. This is a choice. If you really look at it, it's a choice. So ask yourself, what have you chose? What have you decided is impossible for you? And then ask yourself, who installed that belief? Was it a teacher that installed that belief in you? Was it a parent that installed that belief in you? Was it a coach that installed that belief in you? Is it a failed business you tried before and it didn't work, and that's what installed that belief in you? Is it a past mistake that you made in your life that installed that belief in you? Because the real question you got to ask today is yet not whether or not you believe it. Clearly you believe it because you're living it out, but is the belief that you believe actually true? Or is it just outdated programming? Because here's what AI can do. AI can generate images. We've all seen that. AI can generate scripts. It did that today. AI can generate your marketing funnels or different aspects of your business. AI can generate strategies, but AI cannot install belief. AI cannot decide for you that you are worthy. AI cannot choose courage for you. That is human territory and human territory alone. And here's the twist. Here's the crazy part, right? The same brain that installs a limiting belief is the same brain that can uninstall it. Same hardware, new output. This week, AI is helping me craft these shows. AI is going to help me craft these shows this week. It's going to be super fun. This week, AI, I think it's fascinating that when you ask about humanity, the very first place AI went was to Nick with no arms and no legs, and Malala, the youngest Nobel Peace Prize. Like, I just think it's fascinating that that's where it went. So powerful, right? It didn't go to the richest person on planet Earth. You notice that? It didn't go to the most, what we call successful person on planet Earth. Like, interesting. But anyways, this week, AI is helping craft these shows. But the power is not in the code. The power is in the conviction. You see, technology is accelerating, but human potential is still the multiplier. The anomaly isn't that humans are different biologically. The anomaly is that they choose whether they expand or not. Some choose expansion, some choose contraction. Same arms, same legs, different choices. So listen. As we head into this Monday morning, as we're running out of February is almost over, if you can believe it. Identify one belief that has been limiting your growth. One belief that has been limiting your growth, and question it. Replace it. Act against it. Because belief builds worlds. And the only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often just the story someone decided to believe. 2 arms, 2 legs, infinite outcomes. Listen, you, my friend, are a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that makes everything. And that God made you to be the absolute best version of yourself you could possibly be. Not an average version, not a little bit below average, not a little bit above, but the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. You cannot be best version of self, which is expansive and creative. You cannot be best version that God had planned for you while being limited in your belief of what you are capable of. You, my friend, are capable of far more than you can possibly imagine. Identify the limiting beliefs that are keeping you small. Lean in. Choose to expand. My name is Glenn, and I'm your friend. Thank you so much for being here. If nobody's told you yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stink and love you. I do. I do. I absolutely stinking love you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. If you haven't hit the share button, go ahead and share it out. I would greatly appreciate it. Tag some friends. That would be kind as well. If you were to do that, whether you're watching on Facebook, or you're watching on YouTube, or you're listening to the podcast, make sure you subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Or if you're listening to the podcast, that would be great as well. But I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., and we're going to do it all over again right here on Hashtag Rise and Grind. For now, I'm going to head over to the Breakfast with Champions room on Clubhouse, find out how their weekend event went. Hopefully it was amazing. And I'm going to head to the gym, get my workout on so that we can take on this amazing, incredible day. Thanks for being here. See ya. Have a good one.
Malala Yousafzai is a female education activist who
The birth of a son with no arms or legs was a challenge they didn't want.
I really couldn't believe it. I just thought it was a bad